Welcome to your daily focus for December the 26th, 2018. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you, Tilly, for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. Thank you for all the Merry Christmases and Happy Holidays. Right back at you. I just hope that you're having a beautiful, harmonious, wonderful, loving time. Um, let's turn to the cards and see what's happening. So thank you, everybody. Um, I apologize about not having a reading out for Christmas Day of all days, December the 25th for you, but it was like 3 o'clock in the morning before I even realized that I hadn't even gotten to doing the reading yet. It was about 4:30 when I finally got everything on my list done as much as I was going to get it done before dropping because I knew I had to be up at 8 in the morning the next morning, so that didn't give me much sleep. And but I don't think I would have been able to really have my energy raised enough to do a reading at that point anyway. So I do apologize, but I did send my love out to you. First card, look at this, the Ten of Wands. Oh, so the Ten of Wands, I've been getting the message of perseverance, doing it even though it's hard, doing it even though it's going to be taking a lot of work, a lot of energy. We may not see the results. We may feel like we are carrying around too much on our shoulders. Now, one of the things I love about the way they depict this card in the artist's rendition of it is on our back is this huge sack full of wands, and some of them have some growth potential. There's new sprouts there. So we're doing some work that is positive, and we need to take that forward with us. But while we are going forward, we are also taking the dead wood with us. And we are in full moon energy, so it's time to really take a look at our priorities, our obligations, our responsibilities, our routines, and understand what parts need to change going forward, where we need to get rid of some of that dead wood in order for us to stand up straight, in order for there to be a bounce in our step going forward. We have the World card. The World card is in detriment for us here. Now, the World card is beautiful because it's the ending of a cycle, and it's so beautiful when the World card comes out anytime during a full moon energy, because it's talking about the completions that need to happen in our lives in order for us to go forward, in order for us to step into new paths. We may be seeing more that we have to do than what we've done when this card comes out in detriment. We may be feeling like a great burden, okay, very much like this, that there's too much to tackle, the list is too big, uh, there's too many maybe actual things in our life that we need healing from one energy, but we also need to complete some tasks. We need to put some endings on some things. We need some closure on some other things, and there's so much to really focus on that we're not focusing on anything, that we're not actually completing or ending or allowing healing in because we are so caught up in carrying the entire load to where it needs to be, rather than taking a break and understanding what we can let go of quite easily. The Fool. Now, how many times did that happen well, I want to say the weekly readings, but it was a 2 week reading. And the reason I did a 2 week reading is because we actually started the energy on December the 22nd with the full moon in Cancer at 0 degrees. And the sun was in Capricorn at 0 degrees. And over the next several weeks, we will be allowing these endings, these healings, these closures, these completions in our life, or at least trying to understand where it needs to be in our life, letting go of some things. Maybe it's in our routines, our external world, our internal world. And the readings took us up to January the 6th on January the 5th. And I think I started out, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, maybe even Cancer, before I started to realize, wait a second, I don't think the eclipse is on the 6th, like I was stating. So always the tarot card reader, not the greatest astrologer, but I do pay attention. So on January the 5th is our first eclipse of the year. And so I thought, most times when we have um, New Year's, and we go from one year to the next year, and we all sit together, and what's your resolution? What are you gonna do? And 2 weeks later, we find that we are not anywhere near what we said we were going to do. We're not even trying. We forgot about it. We couldn't apply ourselves. Things fell apart. Something else came up, took our focus off of it. And why couldn't we keep these resolutions, these New Year's resolutions? And most times it's because the energy is really not supporting us in making resolutions in that time. You'll hear me say many times, now's the time to do this. Don't worry, there'll be time to do that later. The energy will come around. But if you try and do that now, you're just going to be pushing against a brick wall. It's not going to go anywhere. So the energy this time of year, changing of the years, is actually supporting us in making some New Year's resolutions, some things to step into, some seeds to plant at that solar eclipse. So we have this beautiful period here in between right now where we are here on what we can change in our lives to step into that new path, to go forward. Maybe we need to simplify our life in some way. Maybe we need to broaden our horizons on what our goals, our dreams, our desires are. Maybe we need to start looking at some things to make a decision going down our path. I'll get an affirmation card here. So strong cards. I love the fact that the World and the Fool show up so often, especially this time of year. The World and the Fool card go hand in hand, it seems, for more often than not in readings. But we're feeling like this. We're feeling like we've got these heavy burdens. We want to start clearing that up. We want to start looking at what we need to release, where we need to heal, where we need completion in our life, where we need to possibly simplify things in our life. And it could be as easy as cleaning out the attic or the basement or that closet or the garage, that shed, those cupboards, the fridge, and realizing what we truly need in order to go forward and stop carrying around all that extra baggage, because we do really want to feel a lightened energy as we go into the 3 energy of 2019. So if we go with, not taking the time to contemplate, to look at our lives, to look at where we can simplify, and that includes our obligations, our responsibilities, we're just scattering our energy. Fell out, so we're going to go with it. We're scattering our energy. We are, maybe leaning more towards extravagance rather than simplicity in our life. Or we might find ourselves exhausted all the time and we're not really getting anything done because the exhaustion is all in the mind, trying to keep everything together and keep going forward in it. 8 of Earth came out while I was shuffling, so we're going to go with the 8 of Earth. Apprenticeship, gaining knowledge, learning and employing a new craft or skill. Even masters of their craft have more to learn. I eagerly embrace the opportunity to go deeper, develop a greater understanding, and find new ways that I can apply. I acknowledge all I have learned and accomplished, the skills I have developed, and the goals I've reached. Now is the time to find new ways to apply what I know to enhance my expertise. My beginner's awkwardness has melted away. I know what I am doing now. I have confidence becoming more intimate with the work in all areas of my life. So where have you been growing your knowledge, growing your energy, and now you've stopped? And now you're back to life because you've gained that knowledge. This is asking you to, no, keep going. Gain more knowledge. Grow your knowledge, your expertise. And how are you going to use that going forward? What part of life can you master because of it? So we'll put that back in the deck and we'll pull one that jumped out, so it had a message for us. Four of Fire. The Four of Fire is our actual card. A new creative phase. Celebration, pleasure and harmony in relationships. Dancers have partners, singers have musicians helping them to create sweet music, and I find others who are in sync with me and my desires. It's a time for celebrating friendship and all that others bring to my life. A time for relishing the pleasures of being in good company. Making magic together with others is the focus at this time. So, how do I co create? How do I find people that are like minded, liking the same things I do, loving the same things I do, sharing in the same passions as I do? And how do I connect with them so that I can grow, that I can become? And how can others become by my joining with them? Because it's a two-way street at all times, never a one-way street. Dancers have partners. Singers have musicians helping them to create that sweet, sweet music. And I find others who are in sync with me and my desires. So the affirmation would be, today I go forward to find people in sync with me and my desires. And start having conversations with people. Start putting yourself into places where, maybe there's a group in your neighborhood or your town, or maybe it's online, to connect with other people that share the same passions and desires as you, joys as you, interests, hobbies. A creative new phase, a new creative phase. Celebration. And celebrate who you are and where you've gotten to. Remember the last card telling us that we have learned something that has enhanced us in some way. And now's not the time to rest on our laurels, but to push onward, to grow that knowledge even to the next level and the next level and beyond. And one of the greatest ways we can do that is by tapping into other resources with other people. Maybe it's finding a mentor, maybe it's finding a teacher. We'll get an animal card. So the Fool definitely talks about a new path that we will be stepping into before we know it. And this is the time to prepare for that new path. This is the time to plant, think about what you are going to plant as far as your seeds are concerned, your new growth, your new experiences. What new opportunities do you want to show up in your life? Which ones are you helping to create by clearing out clutter in your life in order to invite new energy in? We have practice patience. Practice patience. Truthfulness, patience, and belief. Patience is waiting, not passively waiting. That's laziness. But to keep going when the going is hard and slow. That's patience. To keep going when the going is hard and slow. That's patience. So we need to have a patience with ourselves, says the Raven. That's why the Ten of Wands is there. Raven reminds you that the situation involves a whole lot of patience, a matter that has recently arisen affecting your ability to be truthful with yourself along with your peers. Be truthful with yourself along with others. Raven speaks the truth with love and patience. Don't mind that a time or fear is running out of time. Instead, believe that what you want to have happen will happen, but it will take time. No matter the category of life that you require a patience in, love, finances, career, health, it would benefit you not to focus on the clock, but instead to work on building that strong foundation around you. It is the right time, and you will know when that time happens, and you will fly again. You may not know all the factors yet that are preventing your wishes from coming true, and you don't need to. You only need to believe that the moon will light the way and help guide Raven to the right place at the right time. And several of the readings for the individual signs, was don't worry about the small details. Okay, I know Leo got that, another sign got that, I think even a third. So whether it was in your sun or your moon or your rising energy, don't worry about all the small stuff, all the little details that need to go together. Worry about the big picture right now. We'll have time later to worry about all those little details. There will be a time when we'll have to look at all those little details. It might even be later in the day because we'll have the moon actually going into Virgo, I think, at some point during the day. And so we start to get that organizational, what belongs, what doesn't belong. How do I get to step B and C and D and E even. But right now, we really want to take it back a little bit. So watch that energy coming in too strong for you with the Virgo moon right now, because that might cause you to think about all the little tiny steps that are needed. And oh my gosh, how's that going to go together? I don't even have half this stuff. And you start to worry and you start to doubt and you start to self doubt. And then you let go of the plan, the dream, the desire because it looks too overwhelming. The other time is don't mind the time or fear that you're running out of time. And many of you got also the Knight of Swords, I believe it was, in the reading. It was, we're jumping on that horse. We are raising our sword in the air. We are yelling charge. We are going forward and to watch that energy that we're not trying. Or you got the King of, was it? Yeah, I think it was the King of Swords as well. Where we just get so focused on we've got to get this done, we've got to do that, that we're starting to plow through energy that we're not ready to plow through yet. So pay attention, take heed to what is being told to you right now. It is about healing. It is about letting go. It is about taking a look at those wands and understanding which ones are dead wood. What things in our life is cluttered. It might be actual clutter, but it might be people, situations, environments that we are putting ourselves into that actually weigh us down. It doesn't allow us to stand up straight, to walk with a bounce in our step. And also, what do we have control of? What do we need to put on the back burner? Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.